Hello humans, good morning, and this is the second video. That's right, the second video on Amico. And I wanted to touch on the value of the Intellivision Amico. What are they worth, right? What are they worth? Tony TTD mentioned this yesterday while he was going over my video. And Tony, just call the video, just call that segment, I disagree with everything about everything with Gen X Gamer. You have done pausing the video, losing context. Dude, you gotta let me finish the point before you disagree with me. But he doesn't think he's wrong. But here, let me tell you something where I believe he's wrong, right? And this is just my belief. But I'm gonna back up my opinion with numbers. Now, I find it hilarious that the man that paid over $2,000 for a shell, for a signed shell, is telling you that the Amicos are worthless. Now that is comedy. That's probably the funniest part of the video. Well, guys, when it comes to valuing things, we can only go by what the market is willing to bear, right? So based on this, I have to make conjectures and hypotheses based on the numbers that I see. What do I see? I see a man that paid over $2,000 for a shell. A shell that doesn't have any games. All it has is signatures. That's one figure, right? Whether you think it's a smart purchase or not has nothing to do with anything. We have the retail price set by the manufacturers themselves. The retail price is $339, I believe, at this point. So that's figure number 2. Now, these are fully operational systems that don't exist yet, but that would be the retail price if they would exist. And we had many pre-orders for those. And we have, of course, the Founders Edition, which are, you know, more expensive if they were ever to put them out again. And we have the Backers. This is a figure that's not counted by most people. Let me tell you why this is important. The Backers of this project paid about $1,000, if I believe. Yeah, it's about $1,000 to get into the fig, in order to fund this project without anything in return. Right? Without anything in return, they're willing to fund this project for $1,000, and in addition to that, buy the system for $300. So they're willing to spend $1,300 in order to see the Amico come to life. And why is this important? Well, guys, because when I say there's a lot of, you know, degenerates like myself out there, even though I didn't invest, let me make this clear, I never invested in the Intellivision Amico at all. I did buy 4 of the 8-pack games, and I bought a merchandise, right? Stuff that I wore on the channel, stuff like that. And stuff that I never got delivered because, you know, they closed down everything and didn't ship any back orders out. Regardless, what we're trying to do is set here a value for the Intellivision Amicos that are out there, the testing units, which are the only ones that we know that are in operation. Now, if you guys have been following the show, and I know I have a lot of new subscribers, so I'm going to go over this real quick. When I calculated the cost of producing the original test units, the 25 that were mentioned up to some point, and I believe those are the only ones that are, you know, for whatever reason, you're talking about $17 million. I think it was. I was calculating it by the millions of dollars that were raised. I believe that every unit came out to be about $682,000, $628,000, around there, over $600,000, let's say, to produce every single unit that was made. Now, am I saying that this is what these are worth? No. I'm just giving you the costs to produce these things, because I want to show you how uncommon they are, right? It's not something that's very common. Now, how many people backed this project? About anywhere from 9,400 to 10,000, right? Some of the numbers are a little iffy, but the last official that we got from Fig was 9,400. Okay, so 9,400 backers that I want to tell you haven't acted in any way towards the company. When I say there are degenerates out there, there are. Some of these people invested large amounts of money. The minimum investment was $1,000, right? The minimum was $1,000. But there's people that invested much, much, much more. You have Smash AT over 10,000. You have people that invested way more than Smash AT. And not one of them, not a single one up to this point, as I'm making this video today, as far as I know, because it hasn't been publicized, has ever taken legal action against the company. What does that tell you? They're willing to do it, right? They're willing to spend $1,000 on their own, again, plus buying the console for $300 and something. So they are willing to pay to play these games on that console a minimum of $1,300. That's 9,400 people. And a lot of people that don't like the console, right, that are against the project, whatever, you think that there's nobody out there because that's the general sentiment on the internet. I go by numbers. I don't go by feelings. I don't go by videos. I don't go by social media. I have to look at what people spend money on. And those are the figures. Backers of this project were willing to spend $1,300. A collectible item bought by Tony TGD was purchased for over $2,000. Now, whether that's a smart purchase or not has nothing to do with it, because it's just a marker, you know, as far as value. Now, let me tell you this: his shell is not worth what it would have been worth if he didn't sign it. And the more signatures that are on there that are not from the original team actually devalue that shell. Now, he didn't buy it, you know, as an investment, you know, from what I gather. You know, it's just one to have one up on the television crew, and Tommy Tallarico specifically, which was not happy about him winning that auction. So, you know, he didn't do it for what most collectors would do it. If most collectors would get that, and the first thing they would do is erase any signatures that are not from the original team, just because that devalues the collectability of the item, right? But in general, guys, with these figures, what this tells me that there's at least, and say you get half the backers, there's at least 4,500 people out there that would buy this console. Those people that were willing to pay $1,300 would give you a minimum of $1,000 for those consoles, for those 25, because they cost over $600,000 to produce, because there's a shell, just a unique shell that was sold out there as a collectible for over $2,000, and because they're willing to do this. And to this day, none of those backers that spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars have ever taken any legal action to get their money back, neither from FIG or from Intellivision. It's never happened. There you go. There's your market right there. Those are the people who would pay $1,000. Now, do I agree with it? Do I disagree with it? No, those are just the numbers. Those are just the numbers. There are degenerates like me out there. Would I buy one of these consoles for $1,000? Oh, you bet your sweet ass I would. And there's many YouTubers out there that would do the same, even though if it wouldn't tell you. The only difference is I'm honest about it. If there's a wood grain out there, believe you me, bill after bill, I'm paying that grand. You know, I try to get a deal, of course, but if it costs $1,000, I'd pay it. All right, humans, those are just my opinions for your entertainment. I hope you guys are having a great day out there. I hope I give you something to talk about. And hey, guys, remember to like and subscribe, and do hit that like button for me, because it really does help out the channel. I want to welcome all those people, all those new subscribers that come on lately. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. Take care.